Welcome to another episode of the Lyceum of History, comparing Aristotle's Golden Mean and Buddha's Eightfold Path. Our video goals are to define terms, compare the two systems, and see why it matters today. Let's look at the historical background. Aristotle lived from 384 to 322 BC. He was a student of Plato and the teacher of Alexander the Great. He is from Greece and helped lay the groundwork for Western philosophy. He founded his own school in Athens called the Lyceum, and was the author of several books on topics ranging from reason and ethics to zoology and politics. Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha, was the founder of Buddhism. He's from Nepal. He was a prince who lived a life of luxury until he encountered the realities of suffering, old age, and death, which led him to seek a path to enlightenment. He left the palace, and after years of meditation and ascetic practices, Siddhartha attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in India and became known as the Buddha. Now let's look at the Golden Mean. The Golden Mean is a concept from Aristotle that means finding a balanced middle ground between two extremes. For example, instead of being too reckless or too timid, the Golden Mean suggests you should aim for a balanced approach in your actions. If you're too brave, you might take dangerous risks. If you're too cautious, you might miss important opportunities. The Golden Mean is about being just brave enough to handle situations well. The idea is to help people live better, happier lives by avoiding extremes and choosing moderation in their behavior and choices. In Aristotle's thinking, context is king. Achieving the Golden Mean requires practical wisdom to discern the appropriate action in various situations, as the ballast point is not uniform but context dependent. Within Aristotle's four main virtues lie an excess and a deficiency. For example, showing too much courage is recklessness, whereas not showing courage is cowardice. It's good to be generous, but giving away too much is prodigality, whereas not giving away enough is being stingy. In philosophy, temperance has to do with the enjoyment of pleasures, and excess is overindulgence, whereas insensibility is taking pleasure in nothing at all. And truthfulness requires you not to be boastful, nor does it require you to self-deprecate yourself. Now let's look at the beliefs of Buddhism. Buddha believed in four noble truths that led to enlightenment. To summarize, 1. Life is filled with suffering. 2. Suffering is caused by desire and attachment. 3. It's possible to end suffering by letting go of desire and attachments. And 4. The way to stop suffering is by following the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path is Buddhism's teachings on how to escape the cycle of reincarnation. There's right understanding, knowing the truth about life, right intention, having positive and kind intentions, right speech, speaking truthfully, right action, acting in ways that don't harm others, right livelihood, earning a living in an ethical way, right effort, avoiding negative thoughts and actions, right mindfulness, being fully present in the moment, and right concentration, focusing your mind through meditation. Now let's compare the two systems. Both advise you to live ethically, to live a morally balanced life, and to use wisdom and self-discipline. Where they differ, Aristotle focused on balancing moral extremes, taught you to look at the intent behind the actions, use rational thought to discern things, and the goal was a flourishing or well-being in life. Whereas the Buddha focused on ending suffering, on your actions and intent, being mindful and meditating, and the goal is to eliminate desire and end suffering. To further summarize, both taught how to live ethically. Aristotle lived in 4th century BC Greece. The Buddha lived in the late 6th, early 5th century BC Indian subcontinent. Aristotle focused on finding balance between two extremes to live a good life. The Buddha focused on finding right thought and actions to eliminate desire and end suffering. And finally, Aristotle focused on living a happy life now, whereas the Buddha focused on eliminating suffering and escaping this life and the cycle of reincarnation, where you reach nirvana, where there is neither suffering, desire, nor sense of self, and you escape the cycle of reincarnation. Thank you so much for watching this video from the Lyceum of History. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more videos from the Lyceum of History.